You've probably had pork adobo before, but maybe not like this. Today I'll show you how I make this Visayan-style-inspired pork adobo using a few key ingredients and techniques that make it stand out from the usual. Let's start preparing our ingredients. For the pork, we're using about 1 kilogram of pork leg or pigay, but you can also use other cuts if you prefer. This is a good option if you want something a little leaner. If you want it richer, you can also use a fattier cut like liempo or pork belly or kasim or pork shoulder. Slice it into bite-sized chunks, then set it aside. Next, we're gonna need 2 heads of garlic, about 85 grams total. Since we want this adobo extra garlicky, we're using quite a lot. Remove the root end first, then lightly crush the garlic to make the skins easier to peel. Make sure to leave around 4 to 5 cloves just crushed with the skin on for extra aroma later on. Then, finely mince the rest. To make things easier, I'm using a handy food chopper here. But if you don't have one, you can finely mince it with a regular knife instead. After mincing, divide the garlic into 2 portions. Most of it will go into the adobo and a smaller portion will be fried for a crispy garlic topping when we plate. The crispy garlic will add extra flavor, aroma, and a nice bit of texture at the end. Next, slice 1 medium red onion, about 40 grams. This will help balance out some of the stronger flavors in the adobo. Once sliced into strips, set it aside. Next, we're gonna use an ingredient that isn't very common in most adobos, but is found in some Visayan-style versions. Slice 2 red bell peppers, about 50 grams total. This will add a bit of sweetness, some freshness, and a nice pop of color to the dish. If you want more heat, you can swap it for other types of chilies instead, like siling labuyo or siling pansigang. Another ingredient that probably isn't very common in most adobos is this, ginger. Quick tip, ginger tends to dry out pretty quickly at room temperature, so I like to slice it thinly and store it in the freezer to help it last longer. We'll be using about a thumb-sized piece, around 20 grams. If you're not a big fan of ginger, you can skip this one. Time to start cooking. In a small pot, add a portion of the minced garlic, then pour in enough oil to fry it. When making crispy fried garlic, start with cold oil and gradually bring up the heat. If you add a lot of garlic to hot oil right away, the oil can bubble up and overflow. While that slowly cooks, let's go ahead and start on the adobo. In a medium to large pot over medium heat, add about 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. If you're using a fattier cut like pork belly, you can skip this step and just render the pork fat first before adding the aromatics. Once the oil is hot, add the minced garlic. Stir it around a bit so it doesn't burn. Then add the crushed garlic with the skin on. This will add even more aroma to the dish. Next, add the sliced onions. Saute for a bit until they start to soften. Then add the ginger and cook until fragrant. Now let's add the pork and cook it until it starts to brown. You don't need a really hard sear, but a bit of browning helps build more flavor. Try not to move it around too much at first, so the pork has time to brown properly. Next, I'm adding 1 pork broth cube, about 10 grams. This is completely optional, but I like adding it for an extra savory depth. Then, pour in 500 ml of water. This will help tenderize our pork. Next, add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, followed by 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce for an extra umami boost. Add about half to 1 tablespoon of whole peppercorns. Cracked black pepper will work too. Then add 3 pieces of dried bay leaves. Next, add 1.5 teaspoons of chili flakes. This is optional, but since the bell pepper isn't really spicy, the chili flakes will give the dish that little extra kick. Give everything a good mix, then cover the pot and bring it to a boil. While that's coming up, let's check back on our garlic and see how it's doing. Nice and golden and extremely aromatic. Strain it from the oil right away so it doesn't burn. And don't throw the garlic oil away. You can save it and use it for other dishes later on. Back to the pot. Now that it's boiling, time to add another ingredient that isn't very common in most adobos. atsuete or anato. Using a metal fine mesh sieve, dip the seeds into the boiling liquid to release their color. This not only gives the adobo a richer red color, but also adds a light nuttiness to the dish. If you don't have anato seeds, you can use anato powder instead. Make sure to stir the pork around so everything gets coated evenly. If you're enjoying this recipe so far, don't forget to subscribe for more Filipino home cooking videos. We post new recipes every week. For the full list of ingredients and their approximate cost, stay until the end of the video or jump ahead using the timestamps in the description. Next, add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Just round everything out. This won't make it sweet, it just helps balance the flavors. If this feels too sweet for you, you can tone it down to 1 tablespoon. Now, cover the pot and let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes so the pork can start to soften. Make sure to stir it occasionally so it doesn't catch or burn at the bottom. After simmering, add 3 tablespoons of coconut vinegar. A common tip from our Filipino elders is not to stir the vinegar right away. Let it simmer for a bit so the sharp, raw acidity can mellow out before mixing it in. I think this tip makes more sense when you're using traditional vinegars like coconut vinegar, which have a more distinct flavor. If you're using regular distilled white vinegar, which is already more processed and neutral, you don't really need to wait for it to mellow down. Stirring it right away usually won't make much of a difference. Once the vinegar simmered for a bit, give everything a good mix and let it simmer uncovered for another 20 to 30 minutes or until the pork is tender and the sauce has reduced. After that, add the sliced bell peppers. Let them cook for just a couple of minutes so they can stay a little fresh and keep some texture. One of the best things about adobo is that there isn't just one way to make it. Different regions and households all have their own spin on it, and each version brings something a little different to the table. Finish it with crispy garlic for extra flavor and texture, and add some sliced green onions for a nice bit of freshness and contrast. And of course, adobo just isn't complete without a serving of hot steaming rice. Adobo usually tastes even better the next day, but not everyone can wait that long. Let's give it a taste and see how it turned out. The pork is tender, the sauce is rich and savory, and everything feels really well balanced. You still get that adobo flavor, but the ginger, bell pepper, and crispy garlic give it more character. The atsuete gives the sauce a rich reddish color and a subtle nuttiness that makes this adobo stand out from the usual. Pair it with some rice and you've got yourself a perfect meal. How does your family make adobo? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know how it's made in your own home. Here's the full list of ingredients I used along with their approximate cost. You can pause the video or take a screenshot so you can save it for later. A quick shout out to Beer4Love6981 for leaving this comment on our Filipino spaghetti video. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts and feedback. It really helps the channel a lot. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments how your pork adobo turned out. Subscribe for more easy Filipino recipes and click the video on your screen for another easy Filipino dish. Thank you for cooking with me and I'll see you in the next one.